Hey, what's going on, guys? It's going to be Donnie coming to you from Worthouse Japan. It's going to be, I think, it's Tuesday today. I forgot what time it is. I think it's around about 4 o'clock on Tuesday here, August 25th or something like that. Whatever. Day doesn't matter. I don't really acknowledge days. I just work and everything, man. But anyway, I don't want to stay away from you guys too long. I don't think I came with you guys last week because I had lectures on, and last week was pretty busy. And last week we had I don't even want to talk about the shit that went on last week and everything. So I just want to get right into some stuff right here. One thing I'm going to start doing for you guys, too, for the guys out there to watch, of course, this is a predominantly a motorsports channel. So I definitely want to start, watching some motorsports stuff, even though, I'd rather be out there doing it. But the streaming and everything being getting better. And I'm definitely going to talk about the comparison of FD stream versus D1 because it was all over the internet, everything. D1 is totally, I see what they were doing when they were away. So we'll get into that at the end of this thing. So what I'm going to do is kind of recap D1 over the weekend, round 2 and round 3 at the BSU circuit, which is 5 hours down south for me. And then also a little bit about the FD thing with Worthouse going on with James Dean and his team over there. So getting right into it, round 2 just expired, or round 2 and round 3 wrapped up. For the guys that were not familiar with it, at a BSU, they always run, it's not Corona related, but they always run rounds 2 and 3 or whatever consecutive rounds at a BSU. And I get into the results. One of the coolest things they had, which I think this is my first time kind of seeing because being a drifter and everything, like guys out there who know, man, I don't like watching stuff. And due to the stream coming out, I was actually at MSP while this was going on. So I was testing the car while you guys are watching this thing in between cooling laps and stuff. And because Masanori Kohashi, who actually won both rounds, we'll get into that, in a second here. He's an MSP guy, and I'm an MSP guy as well. So we were all watching and cheering him on from here. But Sime Tanaka had the best run in the second round. He had 116.62 kilometer, 72 mile per hour entry. Had a 98.90 score with the DOS system. Round 1 results was Masanori Kohashi, S15. Daigo Saito, second place, A90 Supra. Third place was Masashi Yokoi. I don't really say it. Nobody says Masashi. Just say Yokoi in the S15. And then moving on to round 3, the very next day, the results were Masanori Kohashi again. First place. Second place was Naoto Suenaga, which is kind of cool. I'll talk about a story about that. It's like senpai kohai, teacher versus student, and the student won. And third place was Naoki Nakamura. One thing I see right here by the results, and I wrote it down, man, it's this was like a Toyota won because everything here I believe was Toyota powered. I'm 99% sure. I don't follow these guys' build, but it seemed like the 2JZ is in every car out there, every single car. So again, from the round 2, first, second, and third. Like I said, S15, A90, S15, Daigo's A90 has a 2J, Masanori's has a 2J, and then Yokoi's have a 2J, and then I think for sure Nakamura had a 1J or a 2J, and Naoto Suenaga-san has a 2J, and of course Masanori again has a 2J. So then you had Kawabata and his other Supra, which is a twin turbo 3UZ. So it's kind of crazy, man. You look in the States, it's like LS is everything over there. Of course, it's in the States, parts are more readily available. And then you look over here in Japan, man, it's just like 2J. Just the thing about it, guys there who are new to it, and I said many times, is you got to keep the maintenance simple. Even if you got deep pockets, if you got deep pockets, it don't matter in that situation. When you're competing, you need your engine to hold up. And 2Js they just do well, man. They handle the abuse, they handle the power, they're smooth. You can beat the shit out of them and just keep going. And when you have a setup like that, it's good. I think so many people, man, they get setups and they go crazy with them, over the top, Instagram famous, and it ends up not holding up well. And then you get into the aspect of pretty much your car just doesn't perform well. You see guys who watched it, Habino-san had issues. He had issues with his car. Suspension looked kind of wonky, and then it just wasn't working out for him, man. And other guys, they crash into the wall and things like that. So again, I kind of just I was in my garage actually working on my S14, and I popped it up. So it's nice to have that background chatter in the background, decompress, work on your own stuff, not being depressed because you're not there. and things like that. I've had my my moments, and I'll regain those moments and everything. Then I took my S13 1UZ to the track this weekend, met some new guys, and actually gained a customer by seeing a 1UZ. They was impressed by the build and everything. So again, it's like use that motivation to get things going. Right after round 2, Alexi was doing the commentary. It just I'm motivated always. It takes very little to motivate me. And most people would take like, oh man, again, I'm here watching this live stream, and I'm a good pro drifter. I should be out there, and you're not. But like, it's like, hey man, I actually was done for the day. Then I took my because I was stamped the family, stamped the kids, and I took my wife. I took my son, my older son, which is 4. I took him to the garage with me. I got to wrap the wire up and everything, and he was all wanting juice and candy and stuff like that. So he's 4 years old. He's cool with the cars for a few seconds, and he wants to go do other stuff. So I had him there, watching some TV and stuff while I worked on the car. Then we went to the track the next day and tested out. Did some tuning and things like that. So it's pretty cool. The VA drifting is definitely, like I say, as like a euphoria type of deal and everything, man. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, again, those are little leeway story into like round 1, round 2, and round 3. Eventually, you guys, the D1 stuff is, I don't know why Andy wasn't there. That's Andy's home track. I don't know what the deal is with D1, man. But D1 is kind of like dying from within. A lot of people don't like the DOS system. A lot of guys who are seeing on the stream were complaining about the DOS system to Alexi, and it kind of is what it is. So you can't really help that. You just gotta deal with it. And you kind of see, like, one thing is people will point out was you see the first round, the flyer, which I'm not going to post up because that's copyrighted material. The flyer for, if you look up on Google, the flyer for this round 2 and 3 was the picture of Masanori Kohashi and Daigo Saito in the picture. Then it had to be the final, so it just kind of worked out, and nobody really put it together until like the end. And it was everybody's like, oh, stage, whatever. Like, dude, you can't. Ain't nobody out there throwing no fight. Ain't nobody out there throwing no fights, so to speak. Ain't nobody. They trying to drift. They're trying to win. They're trying to boost their stuff up. Masanori cleared 20. Was Nishaku Juman, which is about $20,000, man. 20 years old. Most of that money goes back into the car, goes back into preparations, man. But that's his grind, that's his job, and he does well at it. So you got the guys like, and then also for the guys there who watched and seen the live stream, Masanori actually won the 2 rounds last year as well. So that's 4 consecutive wins. Nobody's ever done that. Dude's 20 years old. I've known Masanori since he was maybe 16 or 15 when I got here in Japan. He's like now 28. So it's crazy, man. And me being, I'm 37, and it'll be times when it's just me and him at the track or whatever, because the track is pretty self-run during a week. You just go there, you do your own thing. They'll come out there if you crash and everything and recover you. But I just remember, like, he'll come out the little shack, and he would be watching your run and everything, and then like he'll come back and say, like, you got to push off further, you got to fly out. And I didn't know none of these terms because I didn't come from like a trained background. I just kind of self-taught, did a school with Suinaga, and actually learned how to use e-brake. And then so he's a younger guy than me, and I'm taking pointers from the guy, which I pointed out in the last podcast before. It doesn't matter, man. He just age. And this thing doesn't really matter. It's just pure seat time, having a good machine, having a good backing behind you, you can get it done. Again, he's 28 years old. He's been pro since he's been about 18 or 17. So he's been pro. He's 28, but he's been pro his whole 20s. He's been professional drifter before he entered his 20s. So he got to jump on that guy. He's won a lot of events. I think his style, the S15, the 2J. If he doesn't claim the championship this year, which is a truncated season, if he doesn't claim the championship this season, he's definitely going to be like 2 or 3. He's just phenomenal driving, a lot of seat time, and again, guys out there who are watching this stuff, man, that's all that matters about seat time. For years, all he had a S13, SR20. I think S15 swap at the later points before he swapped over to the V8 and then eventually back to the 2J. But for years, he just honed his skills with S13 SR20s for years. 450, 500 horsepower, more than enough with his skills to put it down and everything. They didn't have a good run with the LS because I don't think they really understood the dynamics of the engine, and they were also driving it like it was SR20, like this bang, bop, 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 and the LS really didn't like that much, and I think they got the Accu something a little bit too late, and by that time, I think it was like a season or two, man, and he's got out of here, so they got the LS out of there, man. It was weird. Kubo, they passed it on to him, and then he used it. Then he blew up the LS7. Then he got another LS, and then something happened. They was like, LS out. I don't know where it's at right now, but they all got 2Js now, so they all done with those and everything. And I believe Wichita still got the RB26 powered C33 if you didn't sell that, I believe. So the cars move around. They get retired pretty quickly. And Kubo, for the guys that don't know, is retired. He just he's spotting now. So they have, get 20 years old. His, dad and everything was here running the shop. I was up there. We were watching it and everything. He's from Amori, Hachinohe Amori, which is about from my shop about 15 minutes, and then the track MSP is 45 minutes away. So it was cool, man. Like because honestly, man, it's still sharp and still, and everybody here, everybody in MSP is pretty good, man. Everybody's pretty solid. Everybody got pretty good skills, and it's because all the guys, everybody's competitive, but they help each other and things like that. I've been away from the thing a little bit, and also when I go there now, people don't see me as much, so it's kind of a little bit standoffish towards me because I've been bringing like kind of clunker cars when I come there, and they don't know me, and I'm not gonna be like, hey, I got this or hey, I got that. They don't know what I got back in the shop, so they assume that my car was that Subaru that I've been kind of driving the last couple of years, with that automatic chaser that I had for a little bit. So they thought I just was like a whack drifter. They didn't look me up or whatever is all good, but they would kind of get it when Masanori and their father would kind of greet me and everything, and they would know like I kind of have some significance there. I've been around a little bit. I definitely paid my dues there and everything, and I'm definitely not a normal drifter. So, but guys will find out. So I went up there again with that 13 this weekend, and the guys, like, I started it up, and they like, everybody turned around like, what the fuck is that? And these guys, I knew them, but I didn't know them, so I kind of, I'm not honestly, you kind of get some cues if the guys want to, they'll come over and kind of look at the engine a little bit and walk away, but they kind of was standing in their zone. I stayed in mine. I was like, look, man, I ain't here I'm here to test this car, got my family here and everything, and I'll do that and everything. But one of the wife came over, then and one guy came over, then it kind of started a trickle effect, and then they were like nice guys. So I could have pushed it, but I didn't want to go over to their group and they'd be like, because if that had happened, then I would never talk to them again. So I kind of wanted them like to kind of meet up in the middle, and that's what happened. I kind of parked a little bit, about 2 lanes down from their little pit, and they were a team of they had JZX like Crowns and Crestus, and they were all like 4-door Toyotas, nice burgundy red color, like team colors and everything. They had a truck called 416 Power, pretty nice, cool little nice truck transporter. So I don't know if they're a team or a small shop, but in Japan there's a lot of like shops, quote unquote, where they're not like top secret, but they're like little chambers or groups and whatever. So there might be a little group, whatever. But then again, saying that, I don't think so, because one of the guys actually came here today. He want to swap. He got a Mark. He has a Mark II JZX 100. And he wants to swap all his gear over into a Crown, a Crown UZS 18, what they call it, which is UZS 187 or UZS 186. So he wants to swap his stuff over there, but I told him, hey man, I gotta go over it and check some stuff out. But that was cool, man. Only like 30 minutes at the track, and I already got customers, man. So that's why I got to get back out there. My reasons for being at the track is different than trying to. Definitely I want to win. I'm definitely gonna go. I'm not gonna go to events like I was telling my guy Cadell. I ain't going nowhere or anywhere just to show up and show face. Fuck that. I'm going there to do my best to win, man. I've been in this game for a long time. That's not saying you deserve that. You're gonna get that, but for my last event, when I kind of didn't give a fuck. I had took the car there and everything. That trend, that one event, I keep harping on it because that was the highlight of my career. Got my pro license, got judged in front of Suchiya, made top 16, and all that stuff, man, happening like that. And just because, everything kind of came together good, man. And, so I definitely going to continue that trend, everything I learned from that event, and to keep going from there. The guys who want to get into Pro-Am or pro drifting, you got it. You kind of have to take some bumps and you can't get a bunch of skills at like a pro-am event or a lower event and then transcend into D1 or FD. You gotta get those lumps within the system, and then you go up. So you gotta get that seat time is seat time, but you gotta get that seat time in a pro event. You guys watch Daigo. Daigo got a lot of tricks. Daigo been in battles for. Daigo's kind of one of like Daigo's like Daigo remind like for the guys there who watch MMA, he's kind of like a John Jones or or something like that, where John Jones has been in the main event since. That's all John Jones does. That's all he's known is main events. That's all since before right after he beat Shogun, it's pretty much been main event. That was it from that main event of Shogun. That's for that 10 years, and there's a few other guys like that, Conor McGregor and whatever. They just main event. They the final card of the night. That's what everybody coming there to see. That's why everybody paying money for the pay-per-view to see. So Daigo is one of those drifters out there where he's the main event guy and everything, and he's definitely always going to be in that top. It's not automatic. He got to win his winner, but you see he doesn't win all the time. But he's still going to be top 16. Like he's got the skills. He's got the. I don't know what his financial thing is, but he got the money. And things roll like that. So it kind of, I use that round 2 and everything to roll into that stuff right there. So right now, the rankings for D1GP, first as of right now is Masanori Kohashi. Second place is Kawabata Masato, and third place is Yokoi Masashi. All right, so like those are right now the rankings as of right now in this video. Those are the top 3 in D1. FD, I'm going to also start following things and everything. But speaking on FD, transition there. FD, the biggest news over the weekend has been Team Worthouse has disbanded, which is James Dean and all those guys, and the other driver, I think Pieter. I'm not sure how to say his name, but it seems like the Pieter or something like that. But I don't, people like, oh man, you a drifter, like I just clicked in a D1 the other day and their stream is looking good. It's not cutting out. Everybody's enjoying the stream. Get into that later. And then FD stream has not been the greatest. And when I did tune in, it would always, the bit rate would be off. They would be off. It would be delays. There'd be all this dead space. And D1, they D1 kind of was watching. D1 Japanese, they're slow, but they're smart, man. They will watch. I'm like, man, everybody's like, dude, why they doing these DVDs and shit? And I was like, the same thing. I haven't bought a option DVD, unless I was in it, which I was last time I was in a DVD was when I was pit crewing for Andy at Debisu about 7 years ago, and I was in there for like a little blip. I don't buy the DVDs anymore. I used to go in there religiously and buy them, and then I sold them all to some dude in Canada, and that was it. DVDs are dead, man. It's like VHS and shit, man. Like they held on to that thing for so long. So the event's already over. You got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all this stuff. Everybody know the results. They're not going to buy that DVD when they know what happened. Everybody got cameras now. They putting stuff up online. A lot of guys are like, taking D1 Thunder, and there's a few guys, I guess gave them a cease and desist and told them they can't be like displaying and things like that, or they can't go certain places, or they put them in things where they can't get the best shots. So now D1, their stream, man. Again, I'll get into that a little bit. I don't want to go too far, but right now I'm talking about the Worthouse Disband. I don't know James Dean personally. I never talked to him. I don't know anybody in that circle. I know people in that circle, but we're not mutual friends. I know James Dean is a top-notch driver. He would say like he's better than Daigo, 3 championships, whatever like that, and things like that. Obviously, it was a shock because guys that are that good, teams that have the good results like that, you figure they're gonna be around for a while. What you guys gotta, I don't know anything about anything. I've seen everybody accusations online, like the guys. I guess some guy put something like it's magical that they left out when the traction. They got a data port to see if they got traction control. As far from what I heard of James Dean, I don't believe he needs any antics to win. People were just trying to find ways to dug people and everything, but I don't know if Worthouse was is a team business, a business that's a team, things like that. Again, guys, I seen it out there. I kind of seen it on my on my, it was trending on my phone, like the Yahoo stuff. It just came up. It was trending there, so I was like, figure I'll talk about it. And Pretty sure there's more knowledgeable guys out there about the topic than me, but I'm not going to act like I know shit that I don't know. Again, I need to start following FD more so I can talk to you guys more about things that's going on, controversy, drama, whatever, and then fill in from my perspective. What I will weigh in about this thing right here, again, if it's a team business team, you guys got to understand, man, with this COVID stuff, and I hate to fucking talk about it, but it's just the thing, man. Worldwide, people are still messed up because of this stuff. My business is suffering. Things are slow, lost money. Some customers are unhappy with things, outside of my control, but they just assume that you're the guy for everything. I'm like, look, man, I can't control your parts being late. I can't control this. I can't control that. And whoever's running that team or funding things or whatever, man, that's their money. If you're not seeing a return on investment, your ROI, if your ROI is starting to go down, you pull out. Sicky, pull out. All these other guys that, when they go away, everybody assumes it's money. Like, yeah, money is a thing. It's not all the things, but it's a business. So if their things is not going well, they're going to pull back. They're going to do stuff. They probably come up with something later. And also James Dean, and from what I hear, the other guy is really good as well. Piotr, I don't know how to say his name, man. So guys are there like telling me to shut the hell up. But they was like talking about James Dean possibly getting on Red Bull, things like that. And he's definitely gonna get picked up by somebody. It's not like he's quitting drifting, but this that team disbanded. So when you're in a team like that or whatever, or somebody's fronting the majority of their cash, you're kind of at their mercy. And then when they want to pull a plug, you kind of you just go away. So it's kind of it not bringing up drama, man, but it kind of sucked when what happened to rapper Dan Savage, which I still want to get on the podcast. Rapper Dan, he was on the Sicky with James Evans. I don't know their relationship, but not getting into that stuff or saying whatever was ever. But after Sicky pulled out, Dan, that was Dan's thing. And then that's one of those things where he's a good driver, but that takes a big network, a conglomerate of people to make that happen. And for me, that's one thing. I got to work on too, man. Because if I go towards that thing where I got the funds are getting up there, the time is coming back somewhat. Making some moves to kind of do some things where I'm not going to be slaving as much on customer cars and kind of making more money on selling cars and exporting, because it makes more money for the least amount of work. I like to do everything myself. I prep my cars and do all this stuff like that. And I'm going to do that regardless, even with a team. But when you go to certain events, they say you have to have a manager or a crew or something like that. You got to have a certain amount of people there, so you can't just roll up by yourself, because you can't prep the car while the driver's meeting is here, and then you get back to the pit. You got to get in the car and go. My thing is assembling a team, because I'm in a situation where some of the people I'm cool with that are not military or mostly down south. Up here, I'm around guys who are associated with the base, so they can't do anything. Honestly, they can't do what they want. I can do what I want, but they can't do what they want. So I can't depend on or rely on anybody like that, because they don't have their own time. It sucks. It's part of the military. I was military too. When I was in, I had leeway to do things. I had good supervisors, but still I was owned. So I remember being down in Nico, and I got a phone call. Hey, you got to get back up to Masawa, 8 hours away, and then go back down. And the next day I got to get up in the morning, 6 o'clock, and go and take a truck all the way back down to Fukuoka, which is pretty much 2 12-hour trips. I could have did it in less time by myself, but it was a group of people. They got to stop. They tired. They're weak and everything. So 12 hours, 24-hour trip, dropped some stuff off, jet back, and then I went back down again to Matsuri. So, man, I was like this, man. I've been like that since I've been here, all up and down the highway, man, making it happen. I just don't get tired, and I like driving. I love traveling, love being on the road, like meeting new people and things like that. So I take any advantage to do that stuff like that. But, yeah, it's like assembling a team. I got Cadell. He's going to come up here to visit. He's going to be on the podcast soon. And I'll talk if some stuff matures in the background as it hatches. I'll talk about it. I don't want to put it out there too early, because I don't want to count, my chickens before the eggs or whatever that thing is. But, things are going good. I got to assemble some kind of team. Maybe I'll have those guys down there. I'll have a satellite team where I'll get with those guys over, Skype or whatever, talk about whatever. I bring the car tools, whatever, get those guys the passes. They come there and help me out. Takeshi is one of my guys who helped me out down there. Alan Arcega helped me out too. And Takeshi was just there to watch, and he ended up being a pit crew guy, man. So it was pretty cool to do that, man. But you definitely need people, man, because it was the first time that the event that did top 16. That was the first time I could kind of get out the car and like they would like check the wheels, check the tires. And you got to have a trust because you got to trust that guy has torqued that down, put your wheels on, did this, did that, and then you go out there and drive. You go out there and drive, wheel falls off, happens in F1, top of the food chain. It can happen anywhere, so you just gotta be careful with that stuff like that. So again, I don't know what's going to go on with the team, the Worthouse racing team. I'm pretty sure some of their fans are let down, but it is what it is. You guys got you got to understand out there again. Business is business, and even when you guys talk to me now, a lot of guys they can't relate to what I do because they don't do it. And I've been doing this before I started my business legally on paper 4.5 years ago. I was always in business. That's why the customer service thing wasn't like something I had to learn. I mean, there's some things that on the scales I had to like implement and save myself and protect myself. But for the most part, man, I was already selling wheels, doing this, providing people with pictures, doing this stuff. So I always had that. I never had, I had like one incident with a part, and there was Brian out there, and Brian, we became friends out of that because it was heated, and come to find out Brian's a nice guy, and come to somebody maybe it did get packed. Well, let's say it got lost, but I didn't put insurance on it, so I'm like, you know what, I'll pay for it. It was a pair of S14 hubs or something like that. And I paid for them out of pocket. And lesson learned, always insure things because that just came up missing. When the other box came back, it was all holy and shit. Like, so, I normally pack things very well, but it just seems like somebody took the fucking box and just like shook it up. And like even if you put padding on it, metal was going to protrude through paper. And it was just a shitty situation, but I gained a friend out of it because we actually talked about it. I cooled down because I was getting defensive and everything because he was telling me maybe you should do this, maybe you should do. I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for a while, never had any issues, so I kind of took offense to that and everything. But again, I got a friend out of it, Brian out there, the guy Brian, who's the sound engineer for Maximus Driftcast out there. Cool, shout out to that guy right there. So kind of moving on. D1 stream versus FD stream, man. One thing I seen in the comments when I was on the Japanese side and on the Lexi side, which they didn't promote well because I actually clicked on the Lexi one by mistake. I didn't know there was two live streams running at the same time. Man, D1, they got their shit on lock, man. But D1 and King of Drift Kings. They got it on lock, man. FD, you guys got to catch up out there. So anybody out there who's associated with FD, you guys are falling way behind. And the FD, even the FD Japan one is different than FD in the States. So you guys got to catch up, man, because you're falling behind. At D1, man, it transitions, the angles, the instant replays, the reliability of the network. All that stuff, and maybe that also speaks to Japan because the infrastructure for what is it? The infrastructure for like your data communications is different over here, where every house is pretty much fiber that has like modern internet. So fiber is just a thing. So right now in here, I got fiber optics in my car shop. So I got my router downstairs, but I got my switch over here. Got all these lights and bells and whistles and everything. The whole shop is all connected, all secure and all that stuff, encryption and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, man. Japan internet's pretty nice. Don't really get too many bottlenecks unless there's like a big holiday and everybody's on watching Pornhub and stuff like that. But it's still pretty generally cool. But again, the D1GP right now overall is D1GP and King Drift Kings are right there, man. Like their streams are good, man. Like I said, now I got to go back and see the FD streams when they do and see what they did, anything different. But one thing is the D1 thing, man. It was like action, like runs. They had things set up. When I watched the FD rounds, I just remember guys idly talking or not talking about much, or just showing pictures of people sitting in the stands and just like idle. It's just like, okay, it's just like bland. You want to keep it moving, keep it doing something else, move it to the next thing and everything. So D1GP stream is right now looking like it's the top one in all of drifting right now. So that's pretty cool. And it's not gonna be a long podcast. One thing I want to wrap up on too is the future of comps. Take a swig of water right here real quick. So it's gonna be one of those delays I'm talking about. So for the future of the drifting comps. with the Corona stuff again, I try to look at the positives of what you can pull out of all situations because we can't control everything. Some people out there, I mean, dude, I'm not gonna go to no fucking rallies. I'll wear the mask where it says you gotta wear the mask and shit. It's not a fucking big deal. It's not like dudes out there are superstars. They gotta cover up their face because they're just that pretty. Nobody gives a fuck about your goatee or your beard. I don't. And it's like people just fucking making. There's a lot of stuff to worry about. I deal with so in my day, man. Before I get home to see my family and kids, my family kids are asleep. My wife, they're all asleep when I leave every morning, and then I try to get out of there, get back to them before before my day starts. Before I guess I don't want to get home when they're sleeping and everything too much. Sometimes it does happen. Can't help it. I got to make the money. Yeah, man, I could tell with a lot, man. I'm not even going I run a business, international business. It's hard. When you get people out here who know me, it's hard to see it because you knew me before the business. So you knew me before the business. If you see like a guy like Steve Jobs, rest in peace or whatever, or Bill Gates, you didn't know Bill Gates before the business. So you assume that, and then people give Bill Gates a different kind of respect, and they don't necessarily get it to me because they see it. Bill Gates has thousands of employees under him. I have nobody under me as of right now. And so people just assume because you're a single guy, you need them, you need that. Like, nah, dude, I got my shit structured. Actually, I got customers coming in. So, hey, look, if you don't want to follow my rules, you want to bump out, I'll fill you in. See you later. You can come back in fucking October and act right and everything. So the future of the drift comps and everything kind of rambling right there. I think what I'm saying about, what I went off is I was talking about COVID, looking at stuff positive, things like that. I think because of the Corona is one thing is doing. I see everywhere is people are learning how the logistics are getting better. And the military sucks, but military logistics wins wars. So if you're in a place at the right time, you can put all your tanks there, you can put all missiles on target, you're gonna win that fucking war. And that's been the thing since the beginning of time. Those who can get the troops together, mobilize, get to their battle, rest them in, fight, they win. That's just been that's always been the thing. If you look at any war, art of war, mobilization, logistics is a thing. One thing about the world, the civilian sector, is you guys. I'm not military anymore. I'm a vet, so I don't see myself as a civilian. But whatever. I'm not a military. I don't have a military acronym behind me right now. But civilian things tend to run a little clunky and cumbersome and too much stuff and too many moving parts. What Corona is showing right now is you don't need all these people to do this stuff. You don't need 30 people in the office to do this job. You don't need 50 people all over here to do this. It's showing that you could do more stuff with less people. Technology is taking over. We got cell phones, tablets, PDAs, all this stuff right there. Those guys can work from home. People can work from home and do jobs. So you don't got to burn as much electricity. You don't got to spend as much money on power. Again, so what's happening, that ROI, return on investment, is going up and up and up. That boss is getting more money. And they're happy. So you're like, hey, guess what? When Corona stops, they're going to probably fire a lot of people. A lot of people going to get told, hey, only come to the office 3 days a week or whatever, stuff like that. You don't have to come all the time. And then also, it just makes things better for this, not having so much traffic and things like that. So traffic on the highway change, stuff like that. So for drifting comps, as a result of Corona, D1, because it was live and you guys who watched it, you could see again, there was pretty much those guys got finished running, no mechanical issues. Next cars already lined up. They do their warm-ups, go. The next cars come around. It's just like it was just one car. All right, he got out of there. Next car, got out of there. Next car. And the only time they would stop is if somebody wrecked or crashed. Only time they would break down and stop. Other than that, man, it was just like go, 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 go. Small intermissions. Main rounds, 32, blah, 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 16, top 8, top 4, blah, 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 man. I think drift comps are going to be run a little bit different as a result of Corona because people are going to figure out, man, they can't waste as much time. It's better for the fan. It's going to have more people tuning in because guys don't want to tune in if it's going to be like so much downtime, space, and all that stuff because it's like you're just watching the stream. And then you're on your phone like this. Then you're watching the stream again, and you're back on your phone or whatever. It's like people want to be entertained. So when you go to NASCAR event is just that event. When they start their engines, they go. That's it until the person cross the line. They do the little burnout and shit on Daytona, on the infield, fuck up the grass. and then that's it. They get their award and they do their little champagne. And now with the day, they can't even do the fucking champagne celebrations because they got social distance, so they got to stand up with the bottle and it's spread and hope the mist hit the other guy and everything. So everything's all weird right now. But I think the positives out of Corona is going to all not drifting your life, your jobs, everything, man. It's going to make people more efficient. It's going to make people get to the fucking point. And for me, it's been great for me because I've already been like that before Corona. So I told guys out there, man, and then like everybody right now, when they come to me, they rush and they did. I'm like, look, hey, man, I got shit going on. I am not going to drop my customer now and put you on my plate right now because they waited their turn. You got to respect their customer, go somewhere else. I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. And don't fucking promise people nothing you can't do. And that's one thing I don't do. When the people start, hey, when you could do this, when you could do that, when could you pay me that fucking reservation? That's when I could do it. And keeping it like that, man, keeping it straight up, letting people know, don't promise anything. Don't be scared of losing the money because they're going to come back, you know, because they appreciate that you didn't bullshit them. Because I'm not going to have no car sitting here for like 2-4 months before I get to it. I don't do that. Only cars are here are my own cars or stored cars. That's it. So I think it'll be more efficient and everything. I think, you know, looking at the positives of Corona will help people, again, refocus things on what's important, help guys narrow things down to logistically make things simpler and easier to make things, because life is fucking hard no matter what. I don't care how much money you got. Look at the fucking Will and Jada thing out there with the whatever. And the only reason I know about this stuff, only reason I know to speak about this stuff is because other people out there, they talk about it. I don't follow any of this shit. I mean, I watch some movies with Jada and Will. I like them as actors, but their personal life is their fucking personal life. It doesn't matter to me. But, you know, tons of money, Will. Tons of money, Jada. You know, even the kids got money coming in. They ain't got no money problems. But, like, when you got no money problems, you kind of get into other shit. You get into doing other stuff. You got a lot of free time because you got the money in the bank. You don't have to go to that set if you don't want to. You don't have to do that thing. So you sit around, Corona's going on and all that shit. You got more time in your hand. You fuck up. You do this. You do that. You guys know it. If you know it, if you don't, whatever, go look it up. I ain't spreading that dumb shit. But even still, man, you know, people, it doesn't matter, man. You know, how much the money, people believe that money is, you know, is going to end all problems. No, it makes life living a little bit more pleasant because you can buy things, you could do stuff for your family, people you like or whatever. But it doesn't stop problems, man. Actually, and when you got a lot of money and people know you got it, you're going to get more problems. You're going to get ass kissers. You're going to get fake people around you. You're going to get people trying to learn what you learn to get their stuff up. There's times and places where you offer advice and everything, man, but I'm not giving out I sacrifice my personal life. I sacrificed not having relationships back in the day. I sacrificed not going to parties and hanging out. I sacrificed a lot to put me in this seat. I'm sitting right here now talking to you and being able to do what I do and take time out to do what I got to do anytime I want to do. 24 hours a day. I'm on my own schedule. The customers, I'm working on their cars, but they're working on my schedule. I'm not working for the customer. So I can say, hey, no, I don't want to do it. And then I go on, whatever. Can't do that too much because I do got to make money until I get to that next level where I got constant streams of income coming in, and then I could throttle back from working on people's shit unless it's a big job, that's all I want to do. Don't want to do small shit. Don't want to do your breaks. That ain't fucking put me on a map, to be honest. Sorry. But my thing is just doing significant jobs and making things happen. I got a lot of stuff brewing, a lot of stuff I won't be posting until it gets to the point where I can post it because I don't want people stealing shit or whatever. The internet's great, but people will steal your stuff, man. Luke Huxman was out there talking about things and people stealing things, and then Lexi, I think, caught the Donut Media guys lifting something, and I don't know those guys. I don't know Donut Media guys. I know Alexi and Luke, but stealing of shit is not cool, man. I make music. I've had music stolen by industry guys. I've had gaming ideas stolen by game guys in the industry. It's not cool, every shit stolen, man. So again, overall, just kind of rambling right there. Got to shut this thing down. But again, guys, just a quick jab. Just want to get out there at least once a week. Don't have to be 2 hours. I got some more guests coming up. People I guess are supposed busy or whatever, getting back to it. Some people I try to get on as a guest. I hit them up, give them information. They mark scene twice. Then I'm interested. I don't want to talk to them because it'll be a bad conversation. And I'm just looking at bringing more quality than trying to just get numbers and numbers and numbers of stupid episodes and everything. So that's my deal, my aim. Definitely will not let two more. I got my studio here, so I can just come in here, press record, and go. But I got to edit it up and all that stuff after this too. So it takes a little bit of time per podcast. and everything. So it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Everything is going good as it can go. My family's good. That's all I can. I'm good, in good health. I haven't got sick once during this whole thing. My wife's good. My kids are good. So I'm good personally. My mom, my mom actually got diagnosed with corona, and her husband, and he was a Gulf War vet, and yeah, man, he was pretty bad. He was pretty bad. They were really worried about him, but he pulled out. He's back at work now. My mom had a mild case of it, and she's over it. And yeah, man. So now when she told me, it kind of, it's like you see it, you see it, and whatever, until it's nobody it kind of hits close to home and everything. So I did have my mom had it and everything, and I never made any jokes about it because I know a lot of people died and stuff like that. But it is what it is, man. Just be safe out there. Wear the fucking mask, man. I don't understand why some of you guys are watching. Wear the fucking mask, man. You're 16, 19, 20 years old, and you fucking complaining that you can't breathe. You got some other problems, man. There's 90-year-old women and men and women here. They're 90 years old, 95 years old. They've been through fucking World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korean War, all this other shit. All this other stuff, man. The 70s shortage in the fuel, all this stuff. They've been through all this shit and Corona, and they're fucking still. They were wearing a mask 50 fucking years ago. Just to not get sick and maintain and everything. And you motherfuckers out there are complaining about wearing a fucking cotton mask or whatever, man. I don't get it, man. And some of my guys are there who watch this and you want to put up stuff about mask stuff. Like, dude, just put the fucking mask on, shut the fuck up, and move on, man. And if somebody's even talking about that shit around me, I'll straight call them out on it. Because it's like, dude, just do what you got to fucking do. Go the fuck home. Do your stuff, man. I get aggravated that much, man, because I had a shitty week last week because of one particular customer, which I blew up on him, and then I apologized for blowing up on him, but I didn't take back what I said because everything I fucking said was correct, but I could have said it in a more but he pushed you to that point because he was everything that it was an argument about some stuff or whatever. He won his vehicle or whatever. First fucking guy that had an issue with it or whatever, man. And it was like everything he was saying was completely wrong. I'm like, bro, the stuff you're saying, if that was an issue, 84 fucking people before you would have been saying something about it. That never happened. This is the first we ever in this conversation, man. And I was like fucking screaming up a storm for like 5 minutes, and everything he was saying was sounding dumb as shit. And you know what I mean? I'm not saying I haven't been like wrong on things. But at the same time, I'm not really, man, because it's like I don't put myself in those positions. When you put yourself in a position to be second guessed by a customer, that's your fault as a business owner or whatever. Even if not a business owner, just a person. If your husband or wife is second guessing whatever you're saying because you fucked around on her in Dubai and then dumbass had your phone on and took pictures and shit, that's your fucking fault. Now you gotta deal with that shit every time you go somewhere. Your wife like, what are you doing? That's your fault, guy. Not my fucking fault. I ain't got those situations. I ain't got those problems and everything. And if a motherfucker got a camera or some shit like that, I'm not going to be in a place like that anyway. But I'm making sure, hey, get that fucking camera off. You watch people, wash their hands, make sure they ain't doing nothing stupid. So if you got some kind of notoriety or whatever, man, and you stick out, you got to watch out for the stuff like that. Everybody has a camera. Everybody has a video camera in their pocket these days, man. So anyway, man, again, I just went on that rant right there at the end because I didn't want to put that at the beginning because you guys heard me talk about that enough. Just be safe out there, man. Do what you got to do. America's out there, man, right now. You guys are you just looking bad worldwide because I'm American and I'm proud of it. I got the flag right here and all that stuff. Military, 3 years in Iraq. Ain't a motherfucker more, got the worth to say about whatever. I've been fucking in war. I've seen the whites and eyes of fucking Taliban shooting at us and shit. Motherfucker, if you ain't seen that stuff before, shut the fuck up. If you didn't go to Mets because of whatever reason, shut the fuck up. I and my other brothers and sisters who served in the military could say whatever the fuck we want to say because we were the ones over there doing that shit. Even though it was a stupid reason why we were there, we were still over there doing stuff and keep your dumb ass safe. So I'm gonna close out on that. Just mind your P's and Q's, man. Do what you got to do, man. Just believe that nobody gives a fuck about your reason for not wanting to wear the mask. If the sign says wear a mask, wear the mask. In my business, I don't require masks to come in here. Pretty open space. It's just me and another customer. You know what I mean? I don't require it, but you go into business that requires it, put the fucking mask on and continue on, man. Just be a little smarter, man, because right now Americans, man, worldwide, you giving Europe, you're giving Australia, you're giving all these guys ammo to dug you, man, because you just come on, man. It's just just be normal. Try to get the shit over with, and we get back to normal. Because right now it's looking like this shit's gonna go to fucking next year, and you know what I mean. I'm benefiting a little bit from it, but man, I'm definitely gonna use more business as a result of not having this shit going on, man. So let's flatten the curve or whatever the fuck you guys want to call it out there or do whatever you gotta do, man. But just do what you got to do, man. Take care of your zone, and everything will be good, man. I think if everybody did that, it'll be good stuff, good to go, and life will be a lot better for a lot of guys, man. So again, guys, thank you for taking the time off of signing to the podcast. Check it out. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Again, the numbers are low. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm not going to allow my low numbers to turn me off and everything. The guys there, Alan Newsom, David Adams, Cadell, all these guys out there who watch religiously. Thank you guys for the few supporters out there. And, I'm doing it for you guys and everybody else who want to really listen to the stuff and hear stuff or whatever. It's therapeutic. For me, talking on this podcast is very good because, again, I'm always bottled up. And just kind of is actually helped me talk to people better, man, because I get into a situation, man, where I'm go. People come in, they want to do business, and I'm like, hey, what do you want? Blah, blah, blah. Did you email me? No, you didn't email me. Like, let me write this shit down. I got to go because my time is money. I can't sit there 30, 40 minutes talking to a dude who's never going to come back. And some guys do, and some people, it turns them off and they never come back. But hey, man, I am very busy, and I'm not apologetic for that because those customer cards are in there and need to get fixed, and I got stuff I want to do. So that's why I kind of run like this. So I got a little bit better at it as a result of the podcast, just kind of slowing down and talking to people and things like that. And again, for me being a PTSD guy, being able to talk, even though there's nobody here, you guys out there are listening, it just helps. It helps me to be able to to formulate thoughts, actually vocabulary, because I noticed again, being by myself so much, man, it's like I don't use fucking words. So then now on the podcast, because I'm thinking it's like a freestyle, what I'm thinking is coming out of my mouth is like coming out. It's coming out. You use F-bombs, this, that, and the other, and that's like a filler for not having a proper word. So I only use cuss a lot when I start getting really pumped or really passionate about what I'm talking about. And the fuck kind of puts the exclamation on what you're saying and stuff like that. My mom, I don't think she watches it, whatever. I'm a grown man, 37 years old, gray hairs and a beard and hair and everything, so I can say whatever I want to say. I'm not doing anything derogatory or demeaning, just using swear words. So again, guys out there, thank you for tuning in for the podcast. Send any questions, any topics, any fucking thing. Send anything you want to see or hear me talk about. I ain't scared to talk about nothing. Ain't nobody telling me I can't talk about nothing or talk about whoever, whatever. Send me the fucking emails, man. I'll answer them honestly. If I don't know it, I'll tell you I don't know it in email. I won't even bring it up on air. But send me those emails, topics, questions, or whatever, man. Because I'm not going to pose yeah, man, I got, what's the people always say on YouTube? Somebody brought up a thing, man. People on YouTube always asking or whatever, man. Nobody asks me shit. I don't get no comments. I don't get no emails. So I'm not going to front like I'm getting some fake ass comments. I don't get none, so I'm not going to bring none up. So get out there, podcast@pinkustyle.com, send your questions, results, and all that stuff there. And then also be sure to like, subscribe, and share to grow the channel. The numbers are going up small. Everything. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's going to be Danny signing off from South Japan, Pinku Style. See you guys later. Peace.